this for a while, and I think that you can sort of look at the arc of history and try to figure out where we are. And I think we're at a really unique point where we can make a huge difference in what I would call, and some people get very defensive about this, the end of U.S. empire. Every empire that's ever existed has fallen. So I don't think anybody should be so defensive about that. It's just a fact that it will happen. It's self-evidently happening now, and I think it's a good thing. Now, it's not going to be easy or pretty, and we're not going to wake up in a month or so and all of a sudden the United States looks like Costa Rica or New Zealand or Norway. That's not going to happen, unfortunately. Right now, the World Peace Index, the United States is 82nd among countries around the world in the World Peace Index. It looks at wars, military spending, human needs, child nutrition, birth rates, all this kind of thing. 82nd. I mean, that's just shameful that our country is 82nd in the World Peace Index. Now, what matters to me is not so much the end of U.S. empire. I mean, there are certain things that we can do and will be doing to push nuclear disarmament, to push cutting military spending and funding human needs. We will be working to impact those policies, as I just talked about. But what's much more important to me is not how the empire ends, because at a certain point, we're not going to have a whole lot of control over it. And again, it may not be all that pretty. But what's important is what comes after. After the empire, how does the republic flower? And how does that help and support, flowering around the world? So when you look at things like the incredible nonviolent secular revolutions in Tunisia and Egypt earlier this year, I almost felt sorry for people in the administration because, you had Obama saying things like, well, I think President Mubarak really does care about what the Egyptian people think. And Hillary Clinton saying, well, no, he's not a dictator, and I think he can reform. Because what else could they say? That U.S. foreign policy has been wrong for 30 years in supporting these dictators with weapons? Mm-hmm. They can't say that, right? So even if you like Barack Obama, he's the head of the empire. He can't really say that our foreign policy is wrong. He can't say that, okay? But we can. And more than saying how the empire should end, it should be what comes after. And that is what we can help build, a more peaceful and just society. So this is the touchy-feely part. I'd like everybody to close your eyes and be silent just for a minute and think about what that new world, that flowering of the republic, that end of the empire, but in a positive way, what would that look like? I'd like everybody to close their eyes and just think about that for a minute. Joanne, what does it look like to you?
I think healthcare for everybody, education.
Healthcare and education for everybody. Steffi, what does it look like to you?
Healthcare without there and more renewable energy.
Renewable energy. What does it look like to you?
People not going hungry.
People not going hungry. Jane, what does it look like to you?
No more wars.
No more wars. Ambassador Chowdhury, what does it look like to you?
Culture of peace pervading everywhere.
A culture of peace pervading everywhere. Bob, what does it look like to you?
Well, it looks like to me, let's say a lot more than that. The U.S. honestly, as I say, looking at itself in the mirror and enacting by the late Pope John, Pope John II kind of said his papal encyclical number 14, that if there's to be any kind of real change in this country, you can't just kind of say sweep kind of the crimes of this country under the bridge. There has to be a real kind of acknowledgement of what we did. So one, that there has to be, let's say, a full accounting of all the crimes and atrocities we commit all around the world. Two, there has to be a major, let's say, kind of reparations for all the countries we've devastated, starting with Vietnam and Nicaragua. Three, let's say, there has to be enacted legislation that would prohibit the U.S. engaged in the type of criminal activity that's done before. And four is that there would have to be in this country a real recognition, let's say, that something like that will never happen again.
So accountability, reparations, and democracy, frankly, I think, to put it in a nutshell. What does it look like to you?
I think we should be clean, green, laid back, and fun.
Exactly. Alicia, what does it look like to you?
I was thinking about peace in the Middle East and nuclear disarmament.
Peace in the Middle East and nuclear disarmament. So building that vision, to me, is by far our most important challenge. And that's why I get up and do this work every day. It's not just the incremental changes that we can see in Washington, which are often very compromised and, we're not so excited about them. But building that vision of what that world will look like after the empire, because it will be a better world. Because it has to be. There's no other alternative for my children or grandchildren. It has to be a better world. I thank you so much for everything you do. Thanks so much for honoring me.